Hey guys, I'm back here again. Got another quick video here for you today, guys. We got a video detailing how to take apart your good old Mosin bolt right here for that. One of my subscribers asked me to do a quick video about it, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll fulfill his request if you want to do that, if called that. So what you're going to need today is your bolt body, obviously for your Mosin. You're going to need your takedown tool right here for that. This one has the depth gauge. You have 75 and 95 on the actual depth gauge, so we'll show you how to do a quick test on there as well too. And you also need your safety glasses. You never know when something might hit you in the eye, and it's always a good idea to be on the safe side. You can never get your sight back if something happens to your eye. So we'll go ahead and put the safety glasses on. First thing you want to do, take your bolt apart. I'm left-handed, so I'll be doing it the left-handed way. If you're right-handed, do the opposite, or do the called mirror opposite of that. So what you want to do is you want to grab the bolt body with two hands. You want to grab it in your one hand. I'm doing it left hand, so I'm grabbing it like so. And you grab the back portion right here with your fingers. What you want to do is you want to pull the rear caulking piece. This is the rear caulking piece at the back. You want to pull this away from the portion of the bolt, and you want to rotate it counterclockwise. So we're going to show you that right now. Just like so. Pull it away and rotate. So that's how the bolt looks fired. So like so. The next thing you want to do is you take the front portion. It has the locking lugs off right here. You want to slide that up out of there. Go ahead and slide that out. So there you go. You got two pieces now. Get your bolt body with the caulking piece on the back, and you have your second piece with the rail. I call it rail right here, or bar. And you have your front locking lug area right here as well too. The front portion of the bolt that has the extractor and your locking lugs right here as well too. So in order to take that apart, you just rotate it around. See, it's in the lock position right now. So you rotate it around like that, and it pops right off. So now you have your front portion right here that has the extractor, locking lugs. You have your bar where it attaches right there for that. So put that back on there like so, and you're good to go. And that's how you take it apart. Next thing you want to do is to separate the bolt body right here with the caulking piece. In order to separate these two pieces right here, you have spring tension that's being put on both of them, because you have your firing pin going through the entire portion right here. Your firing pin goes from the front to the back. And your firing pin is locked into the back portion of your caulking piece. Your caulking piece is threaded down inside here, and your firing pin also has threads, and that's how it's lined up in the back here. You have your firing pin sticking out the back of your caulking piece right here for that. It should be perfectly flush in the back of your bolt, or the back of your caulking piece, I should say, sorry. So your firing pin, whenever you're taking it apart and putting it back together, you want the firing pin threads. You have a vertical threads in the back. It's like a little notch into the caulking piece. Your firing pin also has a notch in it as well too. They should line up and be totally flush with the back portion of the caulking piece. So in order to take the spring tension off, so you're able to remove the firing pin and separate this whole piece right here, what you want to do is you want to push down on the bolt body, and you want to spin the caulking piece off counterclockwise. So we'll show you that right now. Put in one hand, I'm doing left-handed. You want to push down on the body, and you want to rotate, just like so, till it comes off. Don't let it hit in your face, so you got to keep proper tension on the bolt body. So there you go, proper tension, and slowly release. So now it's tension taken off it. So now you have your firing pin and these internal spring exposed. We'll go ahead and set this stuff down here. So now we have all your pieces taken apart. Get your front portion of the bolt with your extractor. You have your guide bar, I call it right there, guide bar. You have your main body of the bolt. You have your caulking piece. Caulking piece has two notches in the back, as I said before. Whenever you reassemble it, the two notches should line up with the back portion of the firing pin. Your firing pin has a notch in right here as well too. They need to line up, and they should be perfectly flush with the surface. I'll demonstrate that right now here, so you can have that for a reference point, so you don't get confused. So what you want to do is you want to screw it all the way in, So it's perfectly flush with the back portion of the caulking piece, just like so, right about there. So when you put your finger in the back, it feels perfectly smooth as it is right now. It's perfectly lined up, the 2 notches in the caulking piece, and the notch for the firing pin as well too. So it's nice and smooth. It's not sticking up. It's not sticking, deep down. See, if it's like too low as it is, it's it's sunk into the back piece. That's too much. If it's screwed all the way out and it's like sticking up too much, that's going to cause problems as well too. So you want to perfectly flush with the back portion of the caulking piece. Go ahead and put that back apart. And you also have your spring here as well too. So there's your spring for the internal actuation of the firing pin. So in order to reassemble it, you take your firing pin. Here's your firing pin. Put your spring, just like so. Got your main body right here, the bolt. Stick that down inside it like so. And you want to put it under tension. So we want to have a good surface. I got a bunch of paper stacked up right here for that. So what you want to do is you want to put that thing under tension. So it fully seats all the way down like so. You got about a 1.5 inch gap between the threads and the body right down here for that. So that's enough clearance. Take your caulking piece and you spin it. Keep spinning it. Let's see if it's lined up. It's almost lined up, so we'll go ahead and turn that a little bit. Okay, it looks good. It's lined up in the back. So the rear caulking piece and the firing pin is lined up in the back right here, so everything looks good. It feels nice and smooth. There's no it's not it's not sticking up like a tower, and it's not sunken in, so it's just right. So you set that down and you take your front 2 pieces. This is the piece that has the locking lugs, 2 locking lugs, and your extractor. You put that back on your guide bar, just like so. That locks in position like so. It rotates around and pops back off. So what you want to do is you want to put it in like a neutral position like it is right here. And you want to align the guide bar. You have this little tail in the back right here of the caulking piece. You want to put this piece right here into that slot back there. You slide that on here like so. And it slides back in there. And you also want to align the front portion of the bolt. I'll show you that right now here. I probably forgot that. You have this little nib on the front right here. This little nib has to go in the front right here, the bolt, or from the front of the main portion of the body. So you align that. Get in there. There we go. Okay, we'll pull out a little bit like this, and slide it right back in. You want to grab in one hand your front portion, pushing on the front back here, and your hand grabbing it back. And what you want to do is you want to pull the rear caulking piece back and rotate it clockwise, just like so. Pull that back and rotate it. Now the bolt is back into the default not fired position, and it's ready to go back to your gun. You'll have a little bit of a flop and wiggle like it is right here, guys. That's nothing to concern about. So the back of the piece right here, like I said before, it's flat and flush. You have the 2 notches on the bolt body, or I mean the caulking piece lined up, both lined up on it. So we'll go ahead and do the depth test. So you got your depth test right here, your depth test gauge, your tool. This is a flat blade. This is a cheap, just plain cheap flat blade tool. You have your 2 tests right here. You have a 75 and you have a 95. Most tools will have that stamp, the first one. So if you're looking at it from the side, holding it in your hand like so, the furthest one on the left hand side will be 75, and the one closer to the right will be 95. So what you want to do is it has to pass the 75 right there. So it has to go hit on the top of the 75, so it cannot go underneath the 75. So we'll go ahead and test that right now. What you want to do is you want to put it back into fire position, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. You grab the back of the caulking piece and you rotate it counterclockwise, like so. So now it's in a fire position, and we can go ahead and test the depth of the firing pin. So what you want to do is put your one hand, I'll show you that right here, put your one hand, push down on pressure in the front two lugs. You want to take your other tool, you want to put it right into the 75. So what you want to do is you have this, I'll try to make it more in depth or whatever. You want to put the outside tooth right here into the first lip. It's like so. That's how it should look. Let me see if I can do a side angle here for you so you can see it better. Put it like so, just like that. And that's how it should look. And we'll go ahead and check the depth. And it is contacting, it's contacting barely on there for that. So the 75 is okay, so we'll try the 95. The firing pin should go underneath the 95. So we'll go ahead and move it over one notch. And it's going under the 95, which is good, so that's no problem. So the bolt is ready to go back to the gun. And as I said before, the thing should be flush. The caulking piece, it has 2 notches, and it has the firing pin sticking out the back right here. It's flush, and everything else looks okay. And it passed the test for the 75 and the 95 on the tool right here for that. You have 75, which is on the first left side, and the 95 is on the right side right here for that. And what you want to do, like I said before, make sure everything's flat. You want to push it down, it's like so. So the first notch next is to the flat piece right here, has to go around the lip of the rimmed area on the front portion right here for that, just like so. Push that down just like so on there, and we'll go ahead and check it again. And it's barely contacting right there for that, so it's acceptable for the 75. So the 95, it should go underneath the 95. So we'll go ahead and check that right now again. And it's going under the 95, okay. So it passed the test again with no problem. So the bolt is ready to go back to the gun. So we'll go ahead and re-caulk it back to the original default position. We're going to grab the back portion of the caulking piece again here. You want to pull out and rotate clockwise. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So do that like so. So now it's back to the default position for your gun to be reinserted back into the gun, guys. So that's everything I can tell you about the bolt right here. If I missed something, or if you want something more explained, go ahead and leave me a message right here for that. But that's about as in-depth as I can probably make it right there for that. If you buy a gun, you should buy a tool right here as well too, guys, because this tool is critical for the functionality of your gun. It'll tell you if your firing pin is too deep or too shallow. So always remember, it has to contact on the 75. If it goes underneath the 75 notch, you have to adjust your firing pin. If it contacts on the 95, you have to adjust your firing pin to a shallower depth. So there you go for that. So that's all I can really tell you guys right now about the Mosin bolt. If anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to drop me a message here, and I'll try to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, some kind of a basic answer to your question. I'll see you. Have a nice day.